The landscape of the NBA has changed overnight. In just 3 weeks, stars have been traded, contenders have rebuilt, and the balance of power has shifted completely. Teams that look finished are certainly back in the title picture, while others have quietly positioned themselves to dominate the next decade. So today we're breaking down every major move from the first 3 weeks of the offseason, and what each one means for the future of the NBA. Let's start with one of the most recent moves of this offseason, the Kawhi Leonard trade. The deal essentially sent Kawhi to the Raptors for Brandon Ingram, Grady Dick, and multiple picks. But why were the Clippers so eager to trade him in the first place? Well, our answer lies in this past season. You see, Kawhi just put up historic numbers this season, averaging a career high in points and placing 7th in MVP voting. That said, Kawhi's value was at an all-time high, because after years of battling injuries and falling short of championship expectations, Los Angeles saw this as the perfect time to capitalize on Kawhi's recent success, sending Kawhi back to his former team. And to be honest, both teams got great assets back. Let's start with the Clippers. Brandon Ingram is coming off his best season in recent memory, carrying the Raptors to their first playoff berth in 5 years. And Grady Dick is a valuable bench energy guy. And for the Raptors, it's self-explanatory. They get a guy who led them to their first franchise championship. So yeah, I believe the deal was pretty fair all around, but the same couldn't be said for the Giannis trade. The past few years, Giannis's relationship with the Bucks has been just like Batman and Joker. They can never get enough of each other, but this year the tension met an all-time high. Let me explain. You see, next offseason Giannis would become an unrestricted free agent, and judging from their past success from previous seasons, the Bucks knew Giannis wouldn't resign, meaning if they didn't trade Giannis this summer, they'd likely lose their franchise player for nothing. That said, as soon as Game 5 of the finals closed, the Bucks got to negotiations, and they didn't play around. The Bucks sent out Giannis and Bobby Portis for Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, Jaime Jaquez, and 3 first-round picks. In other words, the Heat gave up their whole team. Nonetheless, there are many takeaways from this blockbuster. First and foremost, Thanasis is about to get waived. No, but in all seriousness, the Heat obviously got a top player in the league, instantly making them favorites. But when you look at the Bucks, things start to get really interesting. The most valuable thing the Bucks obtained were picks. The Bucks now have the 10th and 13th pick, selecting Braden Burries and Nate Ament. Nevertheless, the best player the Bucks acquired in this deal was by far Tyler Hero, and yet the Bucks are expected to gauge Hero's trade value, so don't be surprised if he's not on the roster by October. So did Miami win the trade? Absolutely. Landing Giannis instantly makes them title favorites. But Giannis wasn't the only superstar expected to be on the move this summer, because after months of speculation, the Grizzlies finally made the decision everybody had been waiting for. They traded Ja Morant. Looking back, the Ja Morant trade shouldn't have surprised anyone. The moment Memphis drafted Cam Boozer 3rd overall, they had already begun turning the page toward their next chapter. And the reason why is obvious. Just a few years back, Ja was an All-NBA player, leading his team to the Western Conference Finals, and was in conversations for face of the league. But over the past few seasons, everything changed. Injuries have limited Ja's availability, and when he has been on the floor, his efficiency has dipped compared to peak years. Top it off with the gun controversy, and you've got yourself a star whose value is at an all-time low. And that's why most people are calling the steal a fleece on the Blazers' end. The Grizzlies traded Ja to Portland in exchange for only Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray. No picks whatsoever. And sure, Grant and Murray are decent players, but the Blazers didn't have to give up any of their young core. Yeah, I did mention there's downsides to Ja, but with only having to give up those assets, this is a low-risk, high-reward type of trade. Their projected starting lineup as of now is Ja, Dame, Kamara, Denny, and Clingan, which can easily change with all the stars on the market right now. So yes, I believe the Blazers won the trade due to the lack of assets they had to give up. However, if the Giannis and Ja trade felt inevitable, the LaMelo Ball trade was the exact opposite. On the night of the draft, Shams said this:
And another star whose name is picking up steam in the NBA trade market here during draft week as we get closer to free agency is Charlotte's LaMelo Ball.
And it caught everyone off guard. LaMelo was coming off the best season of his career. He had just carried the Hornets to their best season in recent memory, with them going 28-10 in the second half of the season, while putting up 25-7 a night. However, with LaMelo playing good also meant his trade value went up, and with the Hornets not confident he could be their franchise player, they felt it was the best time to trade him. The Hornets sent LaMelo and Josh Green to the Timberwolves in exchange for Naz Reid, 4 firsts and 3 seconds. But the trade really gets interesting when you hear this. Just days before the deal, reports suggested Edwards had been unhappy ever since Cat left, with some even speculating he could be the next superstar on the trade market. But before those rumors could become reality, Minnesota landed LaMelo. On paper, the fit makes sense. LaMelo's shooting range and playmaking creates more room for Edwards to operate, while Edwards' scoring threat opens up easier looks for LaMelo. But there are concerns. For one, LaMelo's injury prone. In the last 3 seasons, LaMelo has only played more than 55 games once due to recurring ankle and wrist injuries. That's not it though, because as the Western Conference gets taller, the Wolves just got smaller by moving Naz Reid, which is why the Hornets may have won this trade. They landed arguably the best 6th man in the league in 7 draft picks, including 3 pick swaps. And with the lottery changes coming next season, those picks could end up being incredibly valuable. So if there's one winner from this trade, it's Charlotte. They picked up Naz Reid in a mountain of draft capital while fully committing to their next era. And that's it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Peace.